EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Tonight we start Week 14 with a great Thursday night matchup between the Las Vegas Raiders and the Los Angeles Rams. From SoFi Stadium. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. They go play action. Mayfield. He'll buy some time. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
We talked about prior to the game, and it played out right there on the first play, didn't it? This offensive line is going to have his hands full all night long.
Well, you often speak of scripts to start a game. Does this mean that play number 2, they're going to go off the script a little bit?
Yeah, what's interesting is that most people, when they script now, they actually script those contingencies in, okay, in case they can't run the play they want to. It's long distance now. Let's go to that play.
Well, this defense for the Raiders, they were excellent last week in the win over the Chargers.
And as in any game, takeaways are always a big key. They're always discussed on defense. There's an emphasis there, and they came away with 3 interceptions in that game.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
4th down, so on is the punter, Riley Dixon. Hunter Renfrow deep to return for the Raiders. Returnable here from the 38. 40 yards on the punt, 2 on the return, and the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10.
At their own 40-yard line.
They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. And slow going there as he'll only get a yard, maybe, up to the 41. And, CD, you look at this defense, what kind of pressure are they under trying to stop a team that has won 5 games in a row?
Well, to me, it makes their job harder because you know you're going up against an offense that's playing at an elite level. And sometimes you can get too caught up in trying to play the perfect game. You're trying to be too precise, too fine, instead of just letting it rip. And I think that's more the priority than trying to be absolutely perfect.
He's got room at the 30. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Carr going to give it to Jacobs. And he'll take this one inside the 10 down to the 8. Not quite the success they had last play. This one goes for 3 yards.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Going to run the sweep here. This is Hopkins. And he's in. Touchdown, Raiders. DeAndre Hopkins His first rushing touchdown on the year. And the Raiders are on the board first on the road here in L.A. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0.
Raiders 7, Rams nothing.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. Returning from his end zone is Ty Johnson. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped it to 23. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. They are currently mired in a losing streak. Now they get the short week for the Thursday night game. Do you see that as a potential positive, or is this just more in what has been really a string of bad luck for them?
Well, to me, it comes down to leadership, and leadership's got to spin it into a positive and make it an advantage for them. Yes, we're in a losing streak. Yes, no one thinks we can win, but we have the resources we need right here in this room. Let's go ahead and play better. Let's hang together and shock the world a little bit. Put it all together, they've got a chance of coming out with the W.
And he'll be stopped up at the 26 after a gain of only a couple.
Early down stuff's to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. On third down, Mayfield. He'll get this into the hands of Van Jefferson. And he's going to have a Rams first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. I think everyone in the stadium saw that big hit coming.
And I, as a former defensive back, have to admit I'm a little disappointed. He actually was able to hold on to the ball. He brought the lumber on that play. Give my man a whole lot of credit for taking the hit and possessing the football.
And picking up the first down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. A give up the middle to Akers. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Can see this quite a bit on running plays with the guys out wide. A lot of times, though, it doesn't get caught.
You're exactly right, because it's away from the play usually, so a lot of it goes undetected. But I know this will surprise you. I coached some receivers in the offseason. We work a lot on hand placement and blocking downfield. Might want to take that course.
Now a give. Akers running left. And he'll lose yardage here. Going down back at the 28. Hustling through to break that play up, Max Crosby.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Mayfield. And he's got this to Jefferson. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 48-yard line. Mayfield down. And that one going to come up short. Low throw. And the Rams in 2 and 10 now on the year. And they come into this one knowing it's been a while since they've had a W. They have dropped 4 in a row.
Let me tell you, when you go a month partner in this league without a victory, it gets tough to come to work every day. And in addition, you start to wonder about your job security as well.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. To throw, Mayfield. He'll get this complete to Cooper Kupp. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 24-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago, because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Going to the air again with Mayfield. He gets this into the hands of Kupp once again. And they're going to get this down inside the 15.
Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for? Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Going right back to Akers. He'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Mayfield to throw it. And it's caught. Touchdown, Rams. Cooper Kupp, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Rams are an extra point away from evening this one up. Extra point right down the middle. And we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And listen, these Thursday night games, they're tough on the body. You just played on Sunday, 72 hours later, hey, it's game day again. But I have to think a Thursday night game in September much more preferable than a Thursday nighter in December, no?
Well, there's no doubt about it. You mentioned how tough it is on the body. How about the mind? You're already tired, fatigued, right? Trying to battle for playoff spots. And here you have the quick turnaround. Now, the flip side is, if you take care of business, win that Thursday nighter, you go into a mini open week. Gives you a few extra days to heal up the body and the mind before you play.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. And he will bring it back. It's an interception return for a Rams touchdown. The mistake there by the offense, Charles. They tried to pick on a Pro Bowl corner in coverage there, and not the smartest decision. He reminded him that he was a Pro Bowl corner with not only the pick, but the pick 6.
And those guys who have that designation, sometimes they get a little bored in games because people try to avoid them. They also love it when they get challenged, and it's a chance to remind everyone exactly why they were tabbed as one of the best in the league the prior season.
And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. As mentioned, this one of the hottest teams in the NFL, riding that winning streak into this one, but now playing here on Thursday night. Do you think that this helps or hurts their momentum?
Well, ordinarily, I'd say it hurts the momentum because now you get that short week. But when a team's playing as well as they are, it actually allows them to down focus and only worry about themselves and less about their opponent. So when you're playing well, you just worry about the things you're doing well and let the opponent deal with that.
After the sack on first down, Carr got a man open. It's Darren Waller. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a first.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
On 2nd down and 4. Carr. That's complete to his tight end, Waller. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down.
I tell you what, it looks like he's shaking off that pick 6 just fine. It's not just defensive backs that have to have short memories. Quarterbacks utilize that as well. A much more confident throw right there.
Carr now on 1st down. And it's complete to Adams. And he's brought down in the red zone at the 18 after a gain of 18. 1st and 10.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
Back to the running game with Jacobs. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. This is a very impressive drive, especially when you consider where they started from to now be set up 1st and goal.
Yeah, some nice running right there. That's what got him the first down. But at this point, I suggest open up your playbook. You can call just about what you want.
He gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4.
If you're going to keep these guys out of the end zone, you've got to be able to commit to stopping the run. And that's a nice job there, getting the safeties involved in run support.
2nd and goal from inside the 5. Jacobs is not going to get a whole lot, maybe a yard down to the 3. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the 2nd quarter, 14-7. This L.A. Rams defense will try to bow up once more. Carr. Touchdown Raiders. Josh Jacobs from 3 yards out. And the Raiders are an extra point away now from tying this ball game. Carlson on for the PAT. And we've got a good one brewing. We're all knotted up at 14.
That ties the game at 14.
This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. Out of the end zone comes Johnson. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And, partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction.
Tried to drop it in there, but it's intercepted. Picked up by Rocky Sin. And the Raiders are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line. time. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, all right, because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right. It felt like a matter of time, and you got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape.
44 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far. On play action, it's Carr. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Part of what we're seeing so far as a defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Carr. Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the Rams are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. So a nice play defensively by the rookie coming up with the INT.
And that's a late-round pick right there, making a first-round impact. And a lot of these day 3 corners, they end up winding up on special teams and sub-packages and even on the practice squad. But he's really made an impact on this defense, and he comes up with the interception there.
Following the interception, Mayfield. The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
Yes, sir. How about an attaboy there on first down? Got his hand in and knocked it away.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now Mayfield. That's into the hands of Tutu Atwell. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Mayfield looks to throw. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Denzel Perryman. And the Raiders are going to take possession here at their own 16-yard line. This defense had 3 interceptions last week. They're on pace for more than that here, 2 in the first half.
Do not adjust your set. This is not instant replay. This is a defense that is locked in. They're essentially running the routes for the receivers and turning into the receivers themselves, aren't they? I mean, it is amazing what I'm seeing because the reactions of those guys back on the back 7, phenomenal.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. He'll drop to throw. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
This defense has passed its first 2 tests by forcing back-to-back incompletions. They know there's probably another throw coming on 3rd down. Let's see if they decide to force the issue by sending people on a blitz.
Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. Catch is made by Hunter Renfrow. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. And Charles, with that completion, I'm told that puts him now over 3,000 yards passing on the campaign.
And Brandon, I think we have to start to think about where we are in the season because right now, 4,000 is not out of the question. I think a big game or 2, he's certainly capable of getting that done.
The Carr's throw pulled in by Renfrow. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And it'll be 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
throwing again on second down. Carr. And a quick throw here, that's complete. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
A couple of first downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on first down. Again, they'll throw with Carr. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it, and it's second down.
Nice progress down the field was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
Back to the air on second down. It's Carr. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on third down. Here's Carr. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he is stopped just short on third down. Got 9 yards, but needed 10. The screen does get him 9, but it also brings up a fourth down. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. And this will be spotted on the other side of the field. It's a 61-yard attempt. And the kick is good. He needed a little help there from the crossbar, but the carom goes his way. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Raiders out in front. As we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. The Raiders with the lead already, and they will get the football here as the second half is now underway. And no return here for Wright. It'll be a touchback. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And, Charles, they've got the lead. I would imagine the overall halftime tone was a positive one, but what do you think the talking points were in the locker room?
Well, if there were 3 talking points at the half, partner, all of them were about turnovers because they were pretty loose with the ball. Otherwise, this lead could be even bigger. Now, I don't think that they overly harped on it, but I think they told them, guys, if you want to keep calling those plays that are exciting, you've got to take care of the ball. Otherwise, we may have to dial things back a little bit.
Running straight ahead is Jacobs. And he's got room. And now off to the races down the right side. And he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas.
We know it's primarily a passing league now, but anytime a runner breaks one like that, you've got to have a secondary that can find a way to him and find a way to get him on the ground. Absent of that, he's going to find the end zone every time.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. Out of the end zone comes Johnson. Oh, good return up past the 30.
The Rams take over first and 10 at their own 33-yard line.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. They make their second half debut here, and things are looking a little bit tougher now. You give up the points there, Charles, that touchdown drive on the other side. So now it's a two-score game here. Got to be careful.
They certainly do, and I'm just wondering at halftime if those guys just looked into each other's eyes and realized what they've got to get done and come out a little bit more charged up, because if they don't get some kind of points here, that next drive, that could make this a three-possession game.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Here's Mayfield. And he's got his target, Harris. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. First target, first catch, and a first down.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Throwing, Mayfield. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Trying to get their tight end involved finally. That's the first time that they've looked his way. He's kind of been a forgotten man in this offensive scheme.
Yeah, didn't look his way at all in the first half. And I'll bet you the offense coordinator made a note at the half and said, let's get him involved because he could be a big-time playmaker for us.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Mayfield. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by Rock Ya-Sin. And the Raiders are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line. Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, he's looking at a game today where in order to make that big move and maybe become the guy, he needs multiple takeaways, multiple big plays, things that get our attention and reverberate for weeks to come.
Bobby Wagner, the All-Pro, in on the tackle.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down. Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. And they'll go jet sweep to try to pick it up. And this is not going to be enough. Was in search of 2 yards and only got halfway there. Here's A.J. Cole now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And well done here. That one will kick out of bounds at about the 8-yard line. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game. But this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football. Because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
They try and run on 1st down, but this one going to lose a couple yards as they get him behind the line.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. They'll go again here with Akers. And he'll take this one up to about the 13. And he's able to get more than half of what they needed. That brings up a 3rd and 5.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And he's going to have a Rams first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I don't care how many times we see it, I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
They'll run on first down with Akers. And he'll get this just across the 25-yard line.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. Boy, Charles, that is now 3 interceptions in 3 consecutive drives, and you can see he's just got a look of disgust and bad body language, understandably, as he walks off the field.
And I think it comes from the fact that he's not sure what he sees down the field, Brandon. I don't know if he's seeing ghosts. I don't know if he just can't read defenses. I'm not sure what it is, but that's why he's frustrated. Think about the defense right now. Every time they run on the field, they've gone from hoping to intercept the pass to expecting to intercept passes. Their confidence at an all-time high right now.
On 2nd down, they'll run with White. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
One quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. The Raiders on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. They'll try to pick this up on the ground with White. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. Give him the 3rd down conversion. 5 yards on the play.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion. And that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively, because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
On play action, now Carr. Going deep for Hopkins. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Perfect example of the kind of attitude you have to play defensive back in the NFL. You want to be the only defender around, and you want them to challenge you. And on that play, he came through.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. They'll go up the middle with White. And an excellent job of finding the opening as he's got this now all the way down to the 22. Yeah, so they get that one, Charles, on the right tackle.
Yeah, oftentimes in that spot, you're trying to work against a defender, trying to set the edge in the running game, and you're trying to drive around and get your body twisted so that he can't get there. Sometimes your hands get too involved.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Got a man, it's Darren Waller. And he'll be brought down at the 27.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent gain. Now they're in 4th and manageable.
Just a little short, though, with that marker. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. He hit his first one. This from 44 yards out now. Able to put this one through, and that will extend their lead even further. So that maybe not a knockout blow, but I suppose certainly every little bit helps when you're trying to salt one away in the 4th.
Well, the possibility of being beaten by 2 late touchdowns or at least sent to overtime does exist, but time, definitely a big factor at this stage of the game, is in their favor.
The Rams take over 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily when you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Play action now. Here's Mayfield on the move, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. It's the former number 4 overall pick, Cleveland Ferrell, that got in there to bring him down. Well, that time, it looked like he essentially just ran right into the pass rush.
Yeah, partner, I'm not much of an outdoorsman, but the fish jumped right into the net, didn't he? Because you've got to make sure that you're deep enough that you can get around the defensive end, have an angle there. But he couldn't do it because he actually cut that one off. Really nice play coming off the edge.
Well, certainly those are the types of mistakes they're trying to avoid as they attempt to protect this lead late in the game.
And let's face it, they're hoping that this one doesn't cost them in a significant way. Yeah, one guy committed a penalty, but now the entire defense has to pay the price. And
my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Trayvon Merrick. And the Raiders are going to take possession here at their own 6-yard line. Well, there's two sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough, but man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it, and I think about it awfully hard. But also, you might want to look into his eyes, see what he has. He might be one of those players that you don't want to affect his confidence by actually pulling him out of the game. So you have to know your player. You have to know the situation.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play, backwards a yard. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. On 3rd down, here comes Jacobs. And they're going to drop him well shy of the first as he can only make it to the 11. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. They've got a 4th down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. Here's A.J. Cole now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. On the return, Johnson. That'll be a 43-yard punt, but a net of just 33 following a 10-yard return. And the Rams are going to start this drive in great field position as they take over. Mayfield to throw. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked up by Sidney Jones. What a nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it, but it just tells you about the game of football. It giveth and it taketh away.
Yeah, the guys, though, that have thrown 6 interceptions in a game, the likes of Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, I think Joe Namath, he did it 3 times. And they take a knee. We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down. And they will take a knee here. For the Las Vegas Raiders. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for Las Vegas, they'll hit double digits with their 10th win of the year. And they'll get a few days to savor this one before they take on the New England Patriots. Meanwhile, for Los Angeles, they're squarely in play for next year mode now as they drop to 2-11. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Lambeau to take on the Packers.
right, got it. She-Rag got me. She-Rag got me.